Counselors Craft a Curious Path with Ruby and Olivia.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Ruby Miller, a multidisciplinary artist, singer-songwriter, therapist, and wisdom seeker with a background in opera, ceramics, and photography.
And I'm Olivia Candosia. I'm an actor, theater director, voiceover artist, early childhood educator, and drama therapist. We are both neurodiverse therapists who strive to infuse more wonder, authenticity, and joy into modern life. We're here to share our hearts and stories, and in turn, listen to yours. Here we gather with you to craft the curious path of life, therapy, and art. Welcome and co-create with us.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi, Caitlin.
I love your outfit today. It reminds me of Animal Crackers meets like Faye Chapel Rowan, and that's totally my vibe.
Thanks. For those of you who can't see me, I'm wearing frosted animal cracker cookies with the little sprinkles, and then a top that matches it and eyeshadow that matches them perfectly.
Yeah, yep, the top and the eye, and then the Animal Crackers are like this kind of deep coral flamingos sort of thing. So like flamingo, pink and purple together. It's great. It's
Thank you so
fantastic. And
much.
your hair is like very dark. It's great.
Thank you.
It's great.
Still debating if I want to dye it pink on one side, but we will see, or lilac.
I think it's gonna happen.
I think so too. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
welcome to Counselor's
yeah,
Craft a Curious Path.
well, which also at some point we're thinking about shifting our role play episodes to being a new archetype,
Hmm.
ANEW, one word. So at some point this might be getting relaunched as a
Correct.
different podcast where we're just highlighting our archetypal role play. So today, Olivia and I were thinking about exploring the archetype of the fool, which we had done in reverse. So I was interviewing Olivia's fool in a few episodes back, and now we were thinking about reversing it into Olivia interviewing the fool in me.
Hmm.
So yeah, so we have some ideas about how to do that, but that's sort of the basic gist of our plan for today's
Yeah, and
episode.
so for those of you who maybe didn't listen to that first episode about the Fool,
Yeah.
Caitlin, can you give us a little lowdown on what the Fool is?
Yeah, so the fool in the context of this episode and our work together, including our tarot group that we're launching, is the Fool is the zero card of the major arcana. So I'm going to show you guys. This is a new deck that I found that I love. So this is the image of the Fool, and the Fool is the zero card, and so he's not like really the first card or any card. He's like a liminal character, and one of the images that I once got for the Fool that I think Rachel Pollack did, she was like a really amazing tarot expert, is that the Fool kind of like runs around the whole deck and it runs around your life, and he is like in all liminal spaces. So like he doesn't have a place, but he's also very like fun and interesting. So yeah, so the Fool, like all of us know what the word fool means. There's like the foolish nature of it. In this deck, I really like he's sort of like a court gesture, and there's a piano down his leg, and he's sort of dancing a little bit, and he's stepping out into the world. And then in the traditional deck, the fool is stepping off a cliff. So in our episode with Olivia, like the cliff of transitioning from graduate school to um having your full-time job be being a therapist.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Great, thank you. I'm relating the Fool to a Commedia dell'arte character right now in my mind, and I
Yeah.
am really wanting to talk about it, but I also want to make sure we do the role play. Um,
Kind of want to hear about it. Like tell the audience briefly what Commedia dell'arte
Yeah,
is and
so
then the fool.
I'm thinking about commedia, which is the masks that they wear in Italy, and they all got different noses, and they're all different archetypes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there is an archetype of Brigella, I believe, and Brigella is God, wait, it's not. No, Brigella's the servant. There's somebody I can't remember. I went and studied this years and years ago, but there's one character that like shapeshifts basically, and like will be like a table, and like you won't realize that it's like the actual archetype. It's just like nope, it's a table now, and then they'll like roll in the space and it'll be like
Wow.
the lamppost, and they just kind of like disguise in the background. But I cannot for the life of me remember their name. But that's what I thought about the Fool, like rolling through the deck and playing around and like
Yeah.
different kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, that shape shifting, it would be so fun to draw like each card of the tarot and be like, where would the shape-shifting fool be in this card? Like, would
Right.
he be disguised as one of like the coins in the nine of coins? Would he be like
Yeah.
the hill behind it? So, oh, that's really interesting. Also, I have like plenty of clients who are into goddesses and witchcraft and alchemy and stuff, and I'm thinking about, I think it was client was talking to me about Artemis and uh a sort of fae figure that's in all liminal spaces, and like I think they're like the god of liminal spaces. I think it might be Artemis, but anyway, I just like the idea that that realm can like have a character associated with it.
I love that. I'm thinking about like when we tap into these archetypes, like I'm thinking about the servant one and how like their his shoulders move up and down because he's always holding like platters and just even getting into that and like the waddling walk of like holding so much weight and just imagining
Hmm.
what the fool's walk would be
Hmm.
and in different
Hmm.
contexts what it would be if it's more like suave and like
Hmm.
pretending to be more charismatic than he actually is or like I don't know,
Hmm.
I'm just playing with the idea of
Hmm.
that walk and maybe we'll find that today in you. um
Yeah, yeah, I was just thinking, I was imagining my fool. We can kind of go into character development of the fool in me. And so for listeners, the idea is that Olivia and I are taking archetypes that exist in the collective humanity and we're applying it to ourselves. So this isn't my idea of a fool or the archetype of the fool. It's my idea of what the fool is in me, as though the fool is like a member of my internal system. So I would say the fool in me, I actually think he looks pretty similar to this card. Like you would see him and kind of be like, oh, this is like a fantastic costume. And he tries to be suave,
can you
but
describe the
he,
costume for people who can't see it?
oh, sorry. It is almost like if Salvador Dali could create costumes. So there's there's like these beautiful boots that kind of look like ski boots meet roller skates, and they're gorgeous. They look super Italian. The pants have like a piano scale going down them, very bright colors. The top has this like beautiful horn on it and heart and an eye that looks like ancient Egyptian, and he has a belt that's like musical notes, and he has a beautiful pink rose coming out, and then he has this like really fun hat that kind of reminds me of like Humans of New York style, like people you'll see walking down here and you're like, you have like, is that a Scaparelli hat? Like, is that?
I love that.
And then he has this like kind of Elizabethan collar that looks like piano notes. So he's honestly just fantastic. He is
Okay, so
simply
your pool
fantastic.
is like, look at me, like bright, bright, bright. Yeah.
Yeah, and like he still looks clownish, but in such a way that he should just be in a museum. Like that is my version. Like, and I think there's almost a shame of like, okay, if Caitlin is going to have a fool in her, he better have his crap together.
Oh, he has to have his crap together. Okay.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness, there's already so much here. So find, let's start to get into it. Close your eyes for a second and just breathe and think about a place in your life, a domain in your life, if you will, where the fool is pretty prominent.
Ooh.
Yeah?
Okay. So the image, or do you want to keep going first?
Um, Go ahead. What's the image you're getting?
So the image was, can I start speaking as the fool?
Please.
Okay. So last Saturday, Caitlin performed. She sang for the first time in like probably 7 years, something like that, which was a big deal. And I have been showing up a lot in her singing, but she kind of hates me because there's like another competing archetype in her singing, which I can't think of the associated tarot card for it right now, but it's like the archetype of the expert. And
Okay.
so there's like a part of Caitlin's singing journey right now that is very like foolish and playful and go with the flow. And this is actually the outfit in this card is perfect because this is the outfit of a musician, like a almost like I'm almost wearing what like Prince would wear if Prince dressed up as the fool. But then another archetype that I'm like battling with, another part who's like, no, Caitlin doesn't get to have a fool
Hmm.
in her singing because she's a trained opera singer. Like she
Hmm.
knows what she's doing, so there is
So
no room for tomfoolery.
what are you saying to that archetype? What are you saying to that expert? Or is it to Caitlin?
I'm saying, yeah, I would say we're like battling parts inside of Caitlin. I don't think Caitlin hears from me very often with singing. Um, I'm saying to that part, come on, you're being so mean to me. I just want to play. What's your problem? Like, why do you keep trying to push me aside? And how could you say that all Caitlin needs right now in her journey as a singer is an expert because she's starting anew. She hasn't sung for 7 years. Of course, the fool will be involved. She literally just stepped on a stage for the first time to sing, and she could have tripped off the stage. Like, I was there with her on the stage. And by the way, expert, the audience loves me. So stop acting like I don't matter. Like,
They do.
I'm, yeah, they love me. They love me more than they love you. Like,
Oh,
why would, yeah, the sort of the part of Caitlin's performance that was about being an expert opera singer, maybe some of the audience was like, oh, her voice is fantastic. But the fool, like, she was smiling almost the entire time. She was joyful. She was funny. She laughed. She wished someone in the audience happy birthday. And she sounded like Marilyn Monroe wishing, like, happy birthday, President. Like, that is foolish. And I'm honestly really, if I try to talk to this other part of Caitlin, like, I'm really pissed. I think that part of her is like boring and drab and angry. It's
oh,
gross. I'm
it's
grossed out.
you're grossed out. And so are you having this argument as Caitlin singing to expert?
Ah, no, I feel like as she was singing, she leaned into me, and I'm so glad she did.
Yeah.
I
I
feel so seen by her during that performance.
were you next to her? Were you dancing with her? Where were you with her?
I was like dancing inside of her body and then running around the audience, sort
Mm.
of like a playful child. Actually, I had a wizarding stick in my hand and I was like enchanting the audience.
I
And
love this connection with the audience that you're mentioning a couple of times now.
hmm
Is that
yeah, and I'm picturing like I was like stirring the wand over each audience member, and then when Caitlin would look out and see people smile, like truly smiling just so brightly, particularly two different audience members just would not stop smiling the
yeah.
entire set. I was like, oh, here's my little fairy sprinkles. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Is this connective piece important to you as the fool?
what do you mean connective piece?
Like connecting with other people, impacting them. Because
Absolutely.
it seems like this expert part is like less about everybody else and more about this ego, where it seems like
Yep.
you were really trying to like encourage other people to join in.
Yeah, yeah, like sort of no matter how technically beautiful a piece of art can be, if it doesn't communicate and grasp the audience, and particularly Caitlin's intention behind this performance was to bring joy, there's not joy to be brought with, hello, I am perfect, I am a perfect opera singer. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
hello, audience, I am joyful. Like,
Hmm.
hello.
Does I'm burping, sorry, fool. Does the
That you're burping, I want you to burp.
you're so right.
Yeah.
Do you sing to her? How do you communicate to Caitlin?
I communicate to her with sort of whispers of having fun.
Hmm.
Like you can make a joke about farting.
Hmm.
You can go smell this daisy outside. You can trip and laugh after you trip. You can, so I feel like for me it's more of like a you can just be silly. Like sort of the voice of a wise child.
Yeah, a wise child.
hmm Like if you go on a playground and there's a child that's just like I'm going to grab your hand. You're going to come with me, and we're going to play on the entire swing set. Here, let me show you this one. We're going to play here. Just laugh, 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 laugh. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Like, we're going to
Well,
do this. Like,
I'm very interested in you saying whys still in this, though.
oh yeah, because the child is so compelling. Like, the child is wise because the child knows how important it is to have fun.
So you know
So,
your
like,
value, is what you're saying.
yes, I do. And I actually think Caitlin does too, but other parts of her are like,
Com
there is no room for you.
Yeah. Are there other parts beyond just that expert one that you're thinking
Oh,
of?
yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
who?
mean, Caitlin, oh my gosh, every phase of her life ever.
Oh, okay. Give
Yeah,
me
Caitlin has, yeah, an immediate thought is like, Caitlin has been identified by the school system and people as intelligent. So, like, I have been at opposition with the parts of her that have said, for you to get attention or for you to be loved or for you to be accepted, you have to sound smart all the time and you
an.
can never slip up.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, linguistically, I just got lost in a memory. But yeah, so the idea of like being intelligent, the parts of Caitlin that try to prop that up as much as possible don't like me.
Mm.
The idea of being like a good partner, a good friend, like the fool doesn't really have much room there. The idea of being a good artist, a good singer, a
It
good
doesn't have
ceramic.
much room there, or Caitlyn just hasn't made room for it yet. The fool.
I think Caitlin's made much more room for me lately. It's the other parts of her that she has to sort of battle with, like parts of her that would say, well, you're an expert therapist, so there isn't room to be foolish
You know
here.
what I'm imagining, fool? I'm imagining all these other archetypes with their briefcases, and I want to know what's inside your fucking briefcase. What are your props that you
Ooh, okay, so my briefcase is made of glass,
okay.
and it's not too heavy, just this is, but it's clear, and it's filled with such colorful, sparkly, glittery things that I almost carry the briefcase as a fool would. Like, look, I'm carrying a briefcase, I'm very serious,
Uh-huh.
but you can see through all of it, and I'm carrying it in a way that's kind of pushing it towards the viewer, like, tell me to open it, tell me
Uh-huh.
to play. And so, yeah, I feel like if you imagine like the best vintage shop curated by queer people in Andersonville, filled with like sort of that, like I could touch everything in that briefcase.
Mm. When do you open it?
I want to open it all the time. It's sort of like the vibe of the dad who can't wait to make a dad joke, like he's just waiting for someone he's just waiting for someone to be like, what's your joke? And so, really, as much as I possibly can, and I would actually appreciate from Caitlin more airtime so I can, through her, show all of my sparkly little
Yeah,
treasures.
I'm almost sensing that right now, either there's like a little crack in it where it's dripping out, or like you've got some in your pockets where you're throwing it in her face a little bit, but it's not
Mhm.
getting opened as much as you'd want it to be.
Absolutely, yeah. And I would also be happy to have the type of briefcase that things go out of it, things come in it. Like, it
Mhm.
doesn't, like the other parts of Caitlin, the briefcase is like Prada metal black, like gorgeous, but with locks on it, and only like that part can unlock it, or there's like a Swiss code, like almost like the type of briefcase like a famous politician would have or something. But my briefcase is like, this is like a little free library to the world. Like, take something, put something back in.
Fool, I am just imagining a production of you
Yes.
interacting with these other archetypes. Like, genuinely, I'm imagining you putting on a show and showing people what it's like to have all these parts of Caitlyn and
Hmm.
interacting and I don't know, her composing songs that are messy and wild
Hmm.
and I think there's something really special here actually.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons she appreciates her relationship with you so much is you're so into play and being like embracing the importance of your fool and foolishness in general that I feel like I really peaked up during the episode. Caitlin was interviewing your fool, and I was like, ooh, wait, this can be really fun.
Yes. Do you think you were a
Yeah.
little different a few weeks ago? Do you think if we did this a couple weeks ago, you'd be a little different?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I think Caitlin would have a harder time tapping into me, and I think that I honestly think this deck, like Caitlin stumbling upon it and seeing the beautiful artistry of this, because she honestly doesn't quite care for the image of the fool in the Rider-Waite tarot,
Mhm.
Rider-Waite-Smith. Um, but this one was like, oh, the fool could be like a drag performer, like the type of where it's like Caitlin could watch this fool perform for 2 hours and be thoroughly entertained. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I'm more developed. And also, it was a huge deal that she actually got up on that stage and performed. Like, she
Yes.
could have bailed, she also could have honestly done a crap job. Like,
Hmm.
and she did a fantastic job.
And if she did a crap job, what would that mean?
That she let these, like, big briefcase a-holes that annoy me, she let those people take over.
Mm. But she listened to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and she also allowed herself to take in the joy of the audience members she saw and to be grateful for it. So there was a person there who was turning 81, and before she sang for the first time, he already had such joyful eyes, and she allowed herself to look at him during the first song, and he definitely contains multitudes and had wise man vibes, but there was also sort of a childish, foolish part of him that was just like the rapture of the moment, like that sort of like, oh,
I think
and
that's so interesting to hear because we all do contain these multitudes, and it's almost like you are helping bring out that fool and child in other people that we so often suppress and give people
yeah,
permission to show that wide-eyed wonder and curiosity and laughter and laugh at a fart joke or whatever it is, or
hmm
slip on a banana peel and like not get
yeah,
angry but celebrate it.
yeah. Well, and there are mundane parts of life that all humans
Hmm.
are subject to, and so why not have them be fun and playful if they will exist no matter what? Like, I think there's something about the society we're living in and how serious the times are that there's like an overcorrection towards we have to be like 100% adults right now at all times because the world is falling apart. The sky is falling.
Right,
And
but
I'm
what do you have to
thinking
say to
like,
that?
yeah, what do I have to say to that? That I see that and I hear that. I'm definitely not in denial about it, but that to hold up the sky, you need energy, and I'm really good at accessing energy in people.
Yeah, and even though like
I'm vivacious.
you're so, that's honestly the perfect word. That's what I've been feeling listening to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? It's gone now, but that's okay.
I was
Um,
thinking I also speak to Caitlin in little poems, but I
okay.
hesitated saying that because a lot of Caitlin's poetry is like very serious.
Hmm.
So, but sort of like I was thinking funny little haikus or something like, oh,
Sure.
look at that. It's so silly, but I can't think of a
Yeah,
specific. Yeah.
that's okay. So you mentioned singing,
Mhm.
and you mentioned just like everyday mundane life. How are you showing up in maybe the more mundane for her now?
She's having so much more fun.
Having fun.
Yeah, I'll kind of whisper in her ear like this is a chance to be silly, and then she'll do it, and her partner and her friends and family and they just love it because I think they wish that Caitlin, particularly in between sessions, could have a little bit more fun because sometimes the job of being a therapist can be very serious, not in a bad way, but it's just serious. And so sometimes. And so I'm just trying to be very clear because Caitlin also has fun being foolish with clients
Totally.
too. Um, but yeah, just sort of like, oh, this silly moment is a little gift to help energize you
Yes.
before you go into your next sort of quite adult task.
You sound like a workout where, like, yes, you are exerting energy, but it's also giving energy. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
really cool to hear where, like, it's
Hmm.
not depleting, it's actually really fueling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and sort of like you could take this. I'm thinking of a moment that recently happened with her partner that I don't think Caitlin would want me to say on a podcast, but it was essentially her partner invited her to do something silly, and I came up and I was like, yes, yes, we're doing this. And so, sort of like Caitlin being much more conscious of me has been really helpful to be like, excuse me, I get to take the stage now, be foolish. You can do it for 5 minutes, sweetie, but you're being foolish for 5 minutes now.
Was that your voice or her voice?
That's the fool. Yeah, I'm still being the fool. Yeah, so the fool talking to Caitlin saying, sweet, because sweetie's like, it's a kind way to get Caitlin's attention. Like, sweetie, just be silly for 5 minutes. Like, let's do this.
This is so interesting. You've got like child vibes and also like motherly caretaker vibes. Um, it's
Yeah.
it sounds
I
like
wonder if my archetype reflects being a fool in all stages of life. Because also, I was talking
Mm,
about seeing the fool in the 81-year-old man. Like, how do we carry the fool through us
yes.
through?
And I'm thinking about when Olivia did the Emperor a couple weeks ago. Olivia, me, when I did the
Yeah.
Emperor a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about not knowing stuff and how the fool is in every part of us. And so I wonder if that's something you can communicate to all those other archetypes instead of arguing with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking that the way I might say that, I'm curious. I kind of want to give Caitlin the homework of filling out more of this sort of expert archetype that showed up and
Ooh,
seeing what comes to her and maybe bringing that to the next episode.
yeah,
But
I would love that.
that that I feel like I would say to that archetype, that other part of Caitlin,
Mhm.
like, I am the fool, you will never be the fool, but to deny that having my energy rub off on you and emulating me in small ways, because
Mhm.
you're the expert, I actually respect that.
Totally.
But if you allow yourself to be a little bit foolish and allow Caitlin to take me more into account, the goal you are trying to have expert, which is usually like success, recognition, money, achievements, executive functioning. I guess related to singing, it would be like the expert wants Caitlin to create an album of tarot card channeling. They want Caitlin to perform regularly. They want Caitlin to have a band, like all these different things. But to be able to look at me and say, oh, I could use you more in this rehearsal, fool. Like, come be center stage. Like that, I would collaborate with these other parts of Caitlin and that they would understand my value.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
I'm just thinking about neurodiversity and just
Oh,
this
yes.
this celebration of the gifts that we have, and we were really strong in some aspects and in others we were not, but that doesn't mean we're uh, any less than a person than somebody else who has a skill set that we do not. It's
Mm-hmm.
important to work together and honor each other's gifts, whatever, honor each other's skills, and lift each other up instead of bringing each other down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I feel like Olivia, you and Caitlin could develop a neurodiversity affirming approach to archetypal parts.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like
I think
I serve go ahead.
I was going to say I think we are right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's a great point that like, and that was sort of my response to your question about how I perceived your question was like, fool, how could you integrate yourself into all of these other parts? And I was thinking, well, I'm me and the other parts are them. but the parts could be more collaborative with me, and I want to be because this is all in service of Caitlin living her best
Yes.
possible life.
And there's no way to deny that we are all impacted by each other. And of course, a little bit of
Yeah.
fool is going to rub off. Of course, a little bit of expert is going to rub off.
hmm
Um,
hmm
yeah,
Yeah. But I love that sort of like it takes a coordinated village for a person to thrive, or like me in all of the parts of Caitlin, it takes a coordinated system of parts for Caitlin to thrive. And I'm thinking that being really explicit with everyone in the village, every part, that we are collaborators. Like, we can't build a city without a fool and also without an expert. Like, this is.
Hmm. Is I'm curious because I'm thinking about like what my setting would be, and you're saying village, and I'm wondering. I'm like, do I have a circus? Is that where all my people are? Like,
hmm
what's
hmm
happening there? But village is an interesting word choice.
Yeah, I was thinking village because I thought of the metaphor of
It takes a village.
no, about how all human beings, yes, I did technically think of that metaphor, but all human beings require to like sleep, eat, have fun, shelter. So the metaphor of a village is acknowledging like how necessary coordinating parts
Yeah.
are, versus a circus is more of how do you put on a great show? But then there's the idea of like the circus family that travels. So maybe the clown in the circus is the clown on stage, but also maybe he cooks dinner for the rest of the circus at the end of the night
Right.
or something. So,
You know what I'm
yeah.
noticing, Fool, in the way you speak, and this is something different than the way I hear Caitlin speak often, so I want to point it
hmm
out, is
Yeah.
you have provided so many funny metaphors and comparisons. And usually when I'm talking to Caitlin, she is very self-conscious about like, is that a pop culture reference? I don't know. Or like it's a lot of references to her own life versus other ideas and concepts. And with
hmm
you really are like sharing these really silly things that I don't get to see from her, and it's exciting me
hmm
to like I'm laughing more. Like
Yeah.
I can sense it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. And I feel like 4 years ago, Caitlin, there would be so much less of me popping up. But yeah, I definitely think she's on a journey of sort of presuming that many people will find her competent and useful, so she doesn't have to demonstrate that. She can have fun.
Yeah. I am imagining, I know you said you like whisper to her or say, sweetie, whatever, but I also, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm getting a sense of like humming or like a little tune that
hmm
pops up.
hmm
Is there a tune that you sing to her or like show up with? I feel like I'm a
Da
medium.
da 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 dum. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum.
I feel it. I love that so much. Well, thank
Yeah, it's like a dancing song.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and when I was singing, I was thinking the idea of this fool, particularly on this card, of him dancing like that da 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 da, like that sort of, yeah.
Totally.
That it's sort of a
Totally there.
jokey song.
Yes. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Fool, I'm gonna let you go and bring Caitlin back into the space
Yeah.
and shake that off if you need to, Caitlin.
I'm actually picturing him integrating with me more than shaking him off, which is
Cool.
interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that in your eye close.
Yeah. Yeah, like he was just like, "Boop."
Boop, pop back in the heart.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to hear your thoughts, Olivia. You seemed like so engaged, and it made me really happy to see.
Yeah, I mean, I shared a lot of it as I was speaking to the Fool. Um,
Yeah.
and maybe it's like I have been searching for that play, even though I do preach it all the time, as we've discussed. Sometimes it's hard for me to find that in life, and so to see
Mm-hmm.
someone emulating it is so exciting and life-giving,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yes, this does exist, and this is you are doing exactly what you say your job is to do, which is to provide that energy, and like
Yeah.
it was really special to exist in it with you.
So does it feel like you were, I guess in my words, I might say to summarize what you just said, that you were feeling like you were living out your purpose as a therapist with me in the role play because you created a container for like incredible play, essentially.
As a human, I think also like my
Yeah.
fool was being like drawn, but also my expert was there like, but you were asking her questions, but my fool was like, it doesn't matter, we're having fun, and like
Hmm.
it wasn't an argument as much as it was like, no worry, I got this right now. And
Hmm.
it was kind of funny to see those parts in me also show up as
Hmm.
we were discussing
Yeah,
it.
that reminds me of as the fool when I was saying like presuming competence, like people will likely presume, and so I feel like you're just describing that with your parts, like your your expert was presuming competence enough that your fool could come out and play because you already have so many of these sort of like drama therapy prompts down that you could just
Yeah,
go
and
with
it
the flow.
It was this like low pressure of like, even if I don't ask the right question, whatever that means, like, it doesn't fucking matter. We're playing. Like, there is
Yeah.
no right answer here. Let's just see where this dance goes. This da 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 da. Like, it's okay. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm actually feeling sort of my analysis after the fact. I'm feeling so helpful we did the Fool because I've been wanting to sing on this podcast, and I feel like that's the perfect start to just be like, what would the melody of this
Yeah.
Fool be? Yeah, so I think if we would have channeled the Emperor or something, it would have been harder to tap into what's the
Totally.
music.
This kind of got you out of that cognitive space and just able to, yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I one of my takeaways from this, which I could imagine clients having similar, is that I think that you prompting me as the fool in this episode helped me hold more reverence and gratitude for how well the performance went on Saturday,
Mm.
particularly the image of the fool running around with a wand, like enchanting
Love
each
that visual.
audience member. And so I was like, our memories as human beings, we can only remember so much, but having that visual as a metaphorical representation of my memory of that performance, I feel like makes it way more likely for me to not only remember the performance 20 years from now, but also remember the feeling I had.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, there's something about, and I could imagine that doing in our group together, like take a moment in your life that you cherish
Hmm.
and play out how the high priestess or the emperor or the empress or the fool or the magician, we should do the magician the next, that's what we need to do. We're doing the magician the next episode.
Okay.
But yeah, picture how that part of you played out and sort of as a way to sort of tap into like the precious, beautiful experiences we have in life. So yeah, as like Caitlin, I feel a renewed sense of joy from the performance that I don't think I would have felt without this role play.
Yeah, it's also like I'm thinking about just any opportunity that we get to do stuff like this with. It's so special because we just have created such a really unique relationship with each other. And I'm thinking about even your clear briefcase metaphor with the sparkles and how now I'm like, I want to get Caitlin a gift that kind of like symbolizes that, right? And just like how
Yeah.
even a gift like that or some other mention that you bring up, something to represent and hold
Oh,
on
yes.
to a memory is so special, which is why, like,
Mm-hmm.
when we go on walks, we pick up pine cones to remember and seashells, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
to give people a space where they can come up with metaphors. So when they see something, it'll make them tap into that part of themselves or that memory. It's like really
Mm-hmm.
exciting for me and like something I hadn't considered as an offering from this.
Absolutely. I was just thinking that, we could do the first group of our Discover Yourself Tarot, that it could be exploring the archetype of the fool and then something about, okay, let's look around your house. Is there a space that is at least 6 inches by 6 inches? Can you find one object in your home that reminds you of the fool, or can you create an object that reminds you of the fool? And between this group and the next group, just have that object out and see how you relate to it. And so almost having like an altar, like an archetypal altar where
I'm
you're remind
continuing to add on to the altar, obsessed with this. Obsessed with
obsessed.
this. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna do it.
I'm thinking about this necklace that my partner just gave me and how just holding it, and I know the artist who made it and the connection to it and the meaning behind the stone that like, and so all of these things that feel like a constant reminder of how much we love each other, that something like an altar of
Yes.
this, it also could help clients be like, oh, when I saw this altar of the Fool, I thought, I'm going to talk to my husband differently today, or I'm going to parent my child differently today, or
Yes.
I'm going to put this silly thing out on the internet. Like,
Or, hey, I found this thing and I want to add it to the altar space because this just makes me laugh, right? Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
also am thinking about a gift that my boyfriend gave to me yesterday. It was just a picture frame with us in it, with like, we were at an antique store and the fans on us, and so we're both just like posing. But the picture frame is like a little choo-choo train with a clown nose. It's so silly. And to look at not only the frame choice, but the picture choice and think of the memory behind it is like, it's so many cute things. And now I have it in my apartment.
mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm,
Visual representations, great.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I was also just picturing us doing like a doll workshop at the in like a Chicago location for effective artistry, and like you take whatever your favorite archetype from the group was and you create a doll like
A doll, a fashion piece,
yeah,
a
just
Bible,
something.
something.
Yeah, but like a workshop where maybe there would be like a person who specializes in sewing. I forgot what that's called, seamstress or whatever.
Huh.
Like they would come in with fabric swatches or
I
something,
want to
you
say
know?
something. So my boyfriend is an artist, right? And
Hmm.
he's become very successful, and a lot of that takes like trial and error, right? And I think about the
Hmm.
fool in
Yeah.
this, and so
Oh yeah.
there have been pins that he's made and like patches that he's made that just have not done well. But on his website, he has a section on his website, I kid you not, and it's called the Fool's Corner. And it's all the stuff that
Oh,
he like it didn't work out, but he has it on extreme discount, and it's just
wow.
so funny. And then hidden throughout his website is just like funny little jokes on the buttons and the descriptions and things. And it's
Hmm.
just, I love the celebration of the Fool's Corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw, I was looking at this practice's website and there was a question and it said, can your therapists move into our house as one of the FAQs? Because it was like a practice that specializes in helping kids and it was a joke. And so the response was, ha ha, ha, got you, or whatever. But like it was sort of a funny way to say, like, we're so valuable that you'll like want us to move
That's
in
great.
with you. And so, yeah, so I thought of that too as like and it caught my attention and then you remember it too.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
I'm thinking like there's a fine line where some places try and make jokes and you're like, okay, that's a little too like cheeky. But like things like that
Hmm.
where it's like, oh, that's very unique. That's novel. Like
Hmm.
I really like
Hmm.
that. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So, are you up for wrapping up the
Yeah,
episode?
let's wrap it up,
Okay.
baby cakes.
So, Olivia and I are therapists at a practice called Effective Artistry, which is neurodiversity affirming. We both offer individual couples, family, and groups, and we are launching Discover Yourself Tarot, which uses things that you've heard in this episode, archetypal role play that is open to people worldwide. And it's 8 weeks, and we explore the zero card to the seventh card of the major arcana up to the chariot, I think. And yeah, so sort of a way to practice this with clients in a group setting. But if you're interested in working with us, you're welcome to reach out. And
Yeah, we're so happy for you to be
yeah,
listening.
yeah. We're so happy to be on this journey with each other too. I feel like, yeah, I'm very excited.
Mhm. Feel free if you guys have any questions or thoughts or anything to reach out. We are here. We're so excited to connect. We
Or
want to
any
see it.
requests, like I'd love a spicy request for an archetype for us to play out. I don't know.
Totally. Maybe you're sensing something that's not being tapped into in either Caitlin or
I
myself.
just had the idea. Okay. I'll
Okay.
I was thinking about tapping into the archetype of the siren. Um,
Oh, fascinating.
yeah,
Okay, with
yeah.
that, we're gonna go. But we love you all.
Okay. Yeah,
Bye.
me too. Bye.